Today working on a 1987 Addictor 190 we got going. We're going to be doing some upgrades, tune-ups, stuff like that. Just getting some testing numbers before I do anything to it, just to see our improvements and what we need to work on here. So I'm by myself today. We don't got Thomas with us. He'll be with us later this week, but let's go hit the water, eh? Alright, we're in the boat. Seems to be running decent right now. It's a 25 two-stroke pull start, so we got our kill switch over here. We don't got a tack or any gauges yet. Pretty basic 190, and we're gonna get some speed runs going and just overall performance and stuff, and then we'll see what we need to do from there. Alright, so we just took it for a run. I'm actually really surprised. I was doing 35, 36 on the GPS. And it's pretty quick. I wasn't expecting that. But I'll see. I don't think we gotta do much in the speed department. More just cosmetics, like electric start's a must, and the tachometer. But other than that, I mean, this thing is pretty quick. If we get the we'll try the other prop and lower unit, but I mean, this thing it's pretty dialed right now. Just needs a little tune up, but it's pretty quick. I'll give you a whole shot here, ready? Alright, so we just test drove it. I'm shocked. Thing's fast. I was getting like a solid 35, 34 with like an occasional 36. So I think, I mean, I know it's like push to say this, but I think we get 36 out of it solid, with some different gear oil and stuff like that. But let's get on the trailer and bring it back to the shop. Alright, we're back here at the shop, and we got our M25B apart. Opened it up, took the lower unit off, and here's the lower unit from M25B, and here's it from the M30A3, which is the same as the A2. And you can see that the housing is a lot bigger for the gear case, but that is just because it has through hub exhaust and this doesn't, and the exhaust comes out here. So I'm pretty sure it's the identical gear case. The drive shafts, this one does look a little bit skinnier than this one. That's probably for more torque out of the 30 horsepower, but we'll give that a test run, but I'm pretty sure we're going to stick with this one. And coming over to the motor, a lot of stuff has been spliced to move the kill switch up there. We're going to cut all this out and move it back here to the electric start. And also the air box is missing. This fuel line is too big right here. And then we need to get rid of these fuel lines right here. We'll replace those. And clean up this carb, maybe put a different one on because it has been repaired right there, as you can see. Other than that though, we're looking pretty good. Alright, so we're going to clean some of the dirt out of here just to get it nice and clean. And get all this up here, clean all this out. And I did manage to find an air box for this right here. So we're gonna put that on so we don't get any water in there somehow. Just nice to have it on there. And then we did find a brand new carburetor that I probably won't put on, but we have it just in case. It just has the original spout rather than the remanufactured one. So we'll put it all back together and test it out. But right now we have everything cut out. So we got rid of this kill switch up here, took out all the wiring, moved the gas, and we just have these. It did have a plug-in like tack thing. It looks stock. It's screwed in right here. And the wires were running down through here to plug into there, but we're gonna need these for our alternator, so I had to cut that out. So everything's ready to go. We just have to go get the kit and then start putting it together and making our harness to run from there. We're gonna run it along this side all the way around so that we don't have to deal with the shifter cutting our cable. So we got some parts. Got most electrical parts here, all the wire tape. We got the bilge pump. We ordered everything. The only thing I still have to get is the battery and the little fuses I'm going to put on the end of them. But other than that, once everything is here, should be dialed in. Alright, so got the seat out. Everything's out over there. Gas tank, the bin that he had in there, the seat, that's all out. We're going to be running the bilge pump and the hose over to this side so the driver can see it if there's water spilling out. And then that hose looks kinked, but it works fine when you're in the water. I didn't see any problems with it, so we'll leave that. This red cable, we're going to change this because it's cracked up at the top. And then we're going to run our wiring harness for the key switch and the power to up here. We're going to do that right now. So, alright, so now we have all our wire, negative, and that's going to be our ground. This will be our kill switch, and this will be our tachometer, electric choke, and then this is going to be power. This is going to be starter right here. And then we're going to put all these together, and then we'll tape them together and then run it from the back of the motor to the back of the key, and then we'll have an accessory power for the tack and anything else that he might want to add later on. You can put it comes off the key, so we'll run that to the tack and stuff. But I'm gonna put this together and I'll show you it when I'm done. So here's the start of it. Got all the spools down there. Taped it off so I can get it through the motor side. And then we're just going to tape the whole thing probably about 10 feet. And then I'll cut it off. And then we'll get ready for the connections that they're not here yet. But trying to get ahead here, so. Alright, so here's the wiring harness. We finished it, got all the way up there. This is going to run through here, through this little hole right here. And then there's going to be a bracket here with little slots to snap it in. And we'll snap it in here and connect all the wires there. And then we'll zip all this up right here. And then this will come out. So these wires will come out and go to the key right here. And then we'll have a power wire coming from the key to the tack. That'll be like right here, so that when you hit the key, it gives it power. And then when you shut it off, it's done. And right now, I'm just gonna get the cover for this so that when it gets hot outside, it doesn't melt and get all sticky. All right, so here we are, working on putting this gauge in. The battery died mid drilling and the hole saw popped out and scratched the dash, so that's really unfortunate. We have to address that with the owner. This scratch right here, that'll get hidden a little bit by the tack, but that sucks. So while the battery's charging, we moved over and we're gonna change this cable, and I could see that the plate was missing that goes around the throttle. And then also the back screw is missing. That's supposed to go into here. It's been plugged just with like some rubber piece. So we're gonna get the right screw in there, and then I'm gonna get a cover plate and get a custom color going, because it's usually wood grain, but I think I'm gonna go with the black to match the black carpet and the gauge that we're putting in the steering wheel and all that. So we're gonna pop this cable out quick, and then I have that piece and new clips to hold it in. Got it over here, all blacked out. We're gonna give it a second coat, and then we'll slap it on the boat. All right, so we got our stuff now. This is junk. We got our terminals for the batteries, so we'll just run the bilge and the tack, everything to here, so we can put a fuse straight to it and it's nice and clean. All our heat shrink connectors, our battery, 300 cranking amps, or cold cranking amps. We got our NGK spark plugs, sealant, gear oil, and then here's our electric start kit. The only thing we are waiting on now is the key, which I'm just gonna use this one for now. It's the same thing, it works. And then I'll put the other one in when it gets here. And then the electric choke, which will just bolt right on once everything's on. So now I can get to wiring stuff up. All right, so we got our kit installed. Now we just gotta hook up all the wires. We got our ground to the bottom cowl, and then we got our positive running to the starter solenoid. And then now we're gonna run our wiring harness that we made. We're gonna drill a hole through here, and then we're gonna heat shrink all the right connectors, get it all in this bracket, and then we'll do the same thing to the key, and then we'll change these plugs over here, and then slap the lower unit back on, and then we'll test it, give it a test start, and see what happens. All right, so now we got everything pretty dialed in here on the, we got everything tight. Now we just got to put the carburetor back on and then size this up so it doesn't hit the bottom of the carb. Put the choke back on, and then you can start making it look nice back here, and then move on to connecting it up here on the dash and connecting the tack, and then all the other wiring. All right, so we got everything on, got the carb back on. That took like 30 minutes, because once you get this on, you gotta reach that bolt right there, and it's hard to reach unless you take this off again, and I didn't want to take it off again, so just, found a way to put it on. Now, we're gonna put this air box on, right here. I didn't have it before. You're supposed to have it. A lot of times what happens is someone takes it off to work on it, and they forget to put it back on. I found this bolt. I need one more to fit in there. So I'm gonna go look back here with my 30 for parts. Oh, I did get rid of the lower cowl. Okay, so we have to crawl around in the drawer for some bolts, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this on, and then everything's done back here. Put the cover on, and all we need is the little choke solenoid, which is coming, and then I need to get the very hard to find part that it actually connects to, which I believe I do have that, so I'll try to locate that and then move up there. So you got this on, got 2 bolts, lock washers so they don't back up and get sucked into the car. Choke comes all the way out. Plugs are in. So now we're gonna put the cowl back on, and then I'll move up to the key and get this side of the harness put together. It's a little bit long, but that's all right. We'll zip tie it up there. And then once this is in, we're gonna create a wire that jumps power from the key to the tack over here. We'll get that all wired in, and then we'll test it out. And then once everything's good, we'll seal up the bilge here and get the bilge pump running, and then we'll be done, minus the Tohatsu key and the electric choke. All right, so we got all these heat shrunk. We're gonna let that cool off for a second, and we'll put our key back in, connect it up, and then get the battery in and a couple other things, and then we'll be ready to start it up. All right, so we got a key all wired up, getting the tack. This goes to the back of the tack. We got the ignition, sender, and then this side will run to the key. Our white is our sender, red is ignition power. And then we'll get one going from the back to the ground to our negative battery terminal. And then we'll be good to fire it up. All right. So our tack is all wired up. Key, we have the battery. We gotta connect our ground for the tack real quick. But the battery is hooked up. Just gonna sit there for right now. I'll show you underneath. If I get down there. So here's underneath. Alright, so here we have our harness. Sorry, it's a little close. So here's the main harness that we made. Here is the ground for the tachometer. That's the steering line. Then we made the jumper wire, sender, power, and it comes up, zip up here, straight to the key. This is our electric choke, which we don't have yet. That'll go together, but right now it does nothing because we don't have one, and we're gonna change the key. But that's what it's gonna look like. And then, once I know this is good, then we'll put the power side on for the bilge pump. All right, so now tack is fully wired up, electric start's wired up, crank's over. We haven't started it yet because I don't have the lower unit on, and I can't pick up water. We have the hole drilled for the bilge, and we're about to wire that up right now. And that'll be the last thing besides tightening down the outlet and putting a little 5200 on it to seal it up. Other than that, we're just waiting on that key and the electric bilge. The electric choke, my bad. Alright, so it's been a while. We got bilge pump wired in. You can hear it. So that's the manual. There's a automatic. It's automatic pump, so the float will kick on if there's water in there. Got this all greased up, so it shifts super nice. And then it turns over, and we got power to the tack. So that's it for now. We got it all cleaned up back here. Just the 2 ground wires and the 2 positive wires and the battery cables, super clean. All right, so now we're moving into props in the lower unit. So this is our current lower unit, the Davis XL oil pail, and is this a different one? Okay, it's the same one, but this one's curved a little bit, but it's the same thing. So what we're gonna do is put this on this 30 lower unit here. which has through hub exhaust. This doesn't. This has the exhaust coming out up here, and then we also have low water pickup right here, and I believe this just grabs it from right up there. So what I hope to get out of this is being able to put this 13 pitch prop on here, which you can't put on this one because the prop shaft is too small and it has that cone. So we're gonna put this on here, it'll bolt right up, and we'll go test it out. If we don't see too much of a difference and this prop is okay in the RPM range, we'll keep this one on there. But if we get some more speed and better RPMs out of this one, then we'll go with this one. Oh, and also, we're both going to be filling them with Royal Purple 7590 gear oil. So that has the same gear oil in it. And both impellers are good. This one's going to have to be changed. It's good, but for the service, we're going to change it. This one's fine. And yeah, let me put this one together and then we'll get ready to go. All right, we're out for the final test run here. Having a problem right now where the throttle is kind of sticking when you go start it and then give it gas, which is weird, but I think it might be the electric start wire just in the way, so I'm gonna check it out and then make sure everything else works, and then we'll be on our way. All right, guys, so we just got it for a run. We're having some issues. The electric start bracket was hitting the throttle on the way down while the cowl was on, and the throttle was getting stuck. So we figured that out, got it in the right position, and then our RPMs, we're getting about 5950, 6,000 with one person, which is me, which is pretty light. So the prop is pretty good for it right now. I mean, it's pretty dialed in, so we're not gonna change that there. I haven't checked mile per hour yet. We'll do that on the way back. But I'm just making sure it's not sticking anymore, so we're going on a little further drive than I was intending to go on, but making sure everything's good, and be back in soon.
When the lights are out.